Just make a little video on Bot-Free Group at the moment.
What for?
Oh, just for social media.
No, I don't want it done, thanks.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Well, it's our company and I'm asking you not to do it.
Well, I can see it from the road, so...
Yeah, well, can you not film, please?
Well, I will be, I will also...
Call the police for it, because you're not...
Call the police for someone with a camera?
Well, yeah, because you've done it to them over there.
Yes. And I got my drone as well, so we'll be sending the drone over to get some drone footage, so...
You're not doing it.
If you're doing 911, not 999, 101, sorry.
999.
999? What are you going to report? A man with...
Please.
Oh, let me hear this. Man with a camera.
Please. It's harassment.
You've come out and harassed me, I'm not harassing you.
Hi there, and there's just on the industrial estate in Louth, and there's a strange chap walking around filming businesses and says he's sending drones up and taking footage and just, well, being pretty nosy.
The worker immediately rings the police and describes the auditor as a strange chap who's photographing businesses. In truth, there's nothing illegal or suspicious about what the auditor is doing. He's explained his purpose clearly and isn't hiding anything. The worker calls him nosy, but being curious isn't a crime. Taking pictures in public is legal, and being interested in a business doesn't automatically justify calling the police. This is another example of people who don't understand the right wasting police time over a lawful activity simply because they don't like it. Instead of staying calm and reasonable, the worker escalates straight away, showing a lack of basic knowledge about public freedoms. When the police arrive, they put on an alarming show of authority, choosing emotion over the law as they try to press charges against the auditor.
We've been called about somebody matching your description.
Absolutely, yeah, I'll give him the video. I'm stood there when he called you. I think it's this one that called you, wasn't it?
So what's the crack? What's going on?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Sorry?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Okay, what's the purpose of the video?
My purpose, really?
No. What's the purpose of the video?
Sorry? No. My purpose, really. Thank you.
What is the purpose of the video?
Do I have to answer that question?
Well, yeah, because it may be that you're breaking the law by if you...
Doing what? What law do you think I've broken?
Well, we'll start with GDPR rules.
Okay, that's nothing to do with the police. Is it?
Is it not?
No. And it isn't anyway, because I'm in public, I can film anything I can see in public, can't I?
Yeah, you can film in public, but if you're overflying private premises and videoing stuff that's on there, then that becomes a little bit of an issue. No,
incorrect, officer, I'm sorry, you're incorrect.
During the interaction, one officer makes an outlandish claim that the auditor has broken the law under GDPR. The auditor quickly shuts that down, pointing out that GDPR isn't a tool for law enforcement to use against members of the public. The General Data Protection Regulation is meant to control how businesses and organizations handle personal data. It isn't aimed at private individuals filming in public places. Despite this clear legal distinction, many officers still get it wrong and use GDPR as a catch-all excuse to challenge public photography, instead of applying real laws. The officer throws around terms he clearly doesn't understand, trying to justify an unnecessary intervention.
So every aeroplane, hot air balloon, glider goes over, they're not allowed to video, is that what you're saying?
Well, aeroplanes won't be able to pick up as much detail as a drone overflying some specific premises.
Small aeroplanes.
What is the purpose behind? What interest do you have in filming?
It's mine. I like industrial estates, so I go to industrial estates making videos of companies I find interesting. Are you recording? It's flashing. There's a green light flashing.
Yes, it is.
Is that recording?
Flashing red, then I'll be recording.
Right, okay.
The green is not recording, so
right.
What law have I broken?
We don't know, you see, so we don't know that. So, but if you are not recording, that's fine. But you would have, one of your procedures you would have broke if you hadn't told me that.
Why is that?
Because you have to inform me. As well, you mentioned GDPR.
I can film anything I want in public. You've just come back.
No, not you. No, you're filming it as a company. You're an officer working for the law. You have to, via GDPR rules, you have to tell me. Like the sign on the gate there saying they're filming people.
When the officer tries to outsmart the auditor by twisting his words, I can film anything I want in public. The move backfires. The auditor quickly corrects him, pointing out that police officers themselves are subject to data protection rules and that officers should inform people when they are recording with body-worn cameras. That reply exposes the double standard at play. Officers who challenge ordinary people about filming but ignore their own obligations around recording and accountability.
GDPR works that way. Do you not understand that GDPR works that way?
Okay. So, what are we going to do about you filming? Because it's clearly causing annoyance to people.
That's not my problem. I'm in the public area filming. I'm not annoying anybody. They're annoying me, to be honest. They're actually annoying me. And they're annoying me. They come out and annoy me. He did. They annoyed me. I don't report them because I thought, well, just go back to work and leave me to it. So if you think I'm breaking any laws, then please quote the laws I'm breaking. Because I'm not breaking any law here.
This is a textbook case of poor policing. Instead of enforcing the law, the officer spends energy trying to manage feelings even though no crime has been committed. The auditor is legally filming in a public space. Whether someone finds it annoying or uncomfortable is irrelevant in legal terms. Police aren't there to enforce how people feel. Yet too often officers step into situations with no legal basis simply because someone is upset. This officer has no legitimate reason to intervene, so he resorts to policing emotions to pressure the auditor to leave. Discomfort doesn't cancel legal rights. An officer should know that and act accordingly.
You seem a bit annoyed and that you can't get me on anything. That's wrong, isn't it, surely?
It's not the fact that I can't get you on anything, it's just that if you are causing somebody enough annoyance and they're worried about people's private details being published on the internet and what have you, because there are certain things that are visible from or to your drone camera.
Yeah.
And they are rightly concerned that those will be published on the internet.
Absolutely, can be concerned. Put them inside. Because anybody, I can go on that public path and fly my drone. I could have done it secretly. I let them know what I'm doing.
Okay, but from their point of view,
yeah,
can you see why it would cause an annoyance if you are entirely in the right and you are exercising your right as a person to do something that they don't want you to do?
Yeah, that's right.
You refuse to stop when you've been asked, even though it's their premises that are affected by your actions.
Well, they said there, we're highly secret, blah, blah, blah. They're a fragrance company. I'm like, highly secret fragrances? Really? You know, people really build themselves up to be bigger than they are, just to try to stop people exercising their God-given right, legal rights in this country, legal rights in this country, to video anything I can see from a public place.
Many businesses act as if their own rules trump the law, insisting that filming their premises is illegal when it clearly is not. Security guards, managers, and staff routinely misuse terms like GDPR, privacy laws, or company policy to push people away, even though they have no legal authority to do so in public spaces. This behavior is about control, not legality. Rather than accept that public photography is allowed, companies escalate, threaten to call police, and force law enforcement to get involved, or they try to silence people they don't like. The auditor calling this out highlights a wider problem: private entities pretending they have more power than they actually do, hoping to scare people off instead of respecting rights.
I can video anything I can see from public place.
Does it not then become an issue because you can't see it from a public place because your drone is going into a private place to take these images?
It's flying over in the airspace which is controlled by the Civil Aviation Authority, and I obey all the laws for flying my drone. Civil Aviation Authority, there's no restrictions for flying in this area, on this estate, wherever, so I can fly my drone free will all over this place. I feel you're annoyed. I don't understand. You're not the feelings police. You've got to remember this. You're not the feelings police. You're here to feel.
I'm not the feelings police. I just find it incomprehensible that
But you're like him. It's not up to you to understand what I'm here to do. It's not up to you to understand that, is it? If I'm here and not breaking any law, then basically you need to just walk away and let them know he's not breaking any law. Leave him to it.
At one point, the auditor has to tell the officer to leave, something that should never have a minute say. A police officer shouldn't linger at a scene where no crime is taking place, staying only because they or someone else feels annoyed, instead of acting professionally and disengaging. This officer sticks around, proving that his issue is with the auditor personally, not with any legal breach. This is another example of poor police practice. Officers letting personal frustration justify continued involvement, rather than protecting rights and stepping away where appropriate.
If a delivery is out in the yard waiting to be picked up, and people's, their clients' details, addresses, and what have you are on display.
Tell me this, officer. Do they have the right to tell me to stop videoing?
I think they've probably got the right to stop you from overflying their premises.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're incorrect.
I think they probably do.
I think you're incorrect.
If you look at the contracts when you buy a house, the property you own, then you also own the airspace above it. It doesn't stop at the roof of the house.
Maybe you do. That's all a bit grey, but...
So if you're overflying their property, then that does become a point where...
Right. Can you hear in the sky?
Sorry?
Can you hear him in the sky? There's an airplane flying over.
Yes, there is.
So has he asked him if he can fly over his property? He's gone over his property.
Then, as if on cue, a plane flies overhead and the auditor uses the moment perfectly. He points to the sky and asks the officer, do they have to ask permission to fly over someone's property? That question collapses the officer's shaky logic. The answer is obvious. Airspace isn't owned by private businesses in the way they think. Just as aircraft don't need landowner permission to fly overhead, drones flying within lawful height and airspace limits don't need permission from property owners. The auditor's quick thinking shows how absurd it is for the business and the officer to try to dictate where someone can lawfully fly a drone. The officer has no real grounds to challenge it.
Could have. See, what you're saying is a bit silly. I understand what you're saying. People kind of have this thing, they do own some of it.
Can your drone fly 20,000
I think
feet?
obviously if they don't want you flying over, you know, like next to their businesses where there's information shown and things like that, I think they're polite, like, you know, so politely have to stop. Obviously I appreciate you said it's escalated. If they'd like you to stop, then just want to keep things, you know.
But what about my thing? So what about me? I've come here to make videos and I want to make the video, so what about my thing?
Okay,
What about respect for me?
If you could just please not get any kind of private information involved in that.
Well, that's not on me though, that's on them. You can't, if they've left private information out.
If you do publish these videos online,
Yep.
can you make sure that the information is unreadable?
I'll do my best if I think it's confidential, but you can't see anything. I'm 30, 40, 50 metres up. I can't even make faces out, you know what I mean? And everybody goes mad about it. It's ridiculous.
If a company truly has private or confidential material, it should secure that material properly rather than blaming a photographer or drone operator for capturing what's visible from public space. The auditor reinforces this point, explaining his drone is flying at 30, 40, even 50 meters up, heights where fine details like faces or documents can't be seen. That makes the company's complaints even weaker. The officers, lacking
Answer that
legal grounds,
question.
fall back on hypotheticals and emotions instead of applying the law correctly.
What's your name, sir?
I don't give that information out, I'm sorry. Do I need to? Think carefully what you're going to say next. I know there's one answer to this and it begins with N.
So the answer begins with
N.
N for...
No. When I said, do I need to?
Well,
No, it's not a well, there's no buts to it. It's either a yes or a no.
it's
If you
open
don't
to
want-
interpretation. It depends, because if I feel that you've been involved in ASB, then yes, you do.
ASB, what's-
59 of the
CSB?
Police Reform Act.
What's
Yeah,
ASB?
social behaviour.
Antisocial behaviour?
Yes.
When the auditor asks, do I have to give you my details? The officer replies in a shocking way. It depends. If I feel you've been involved in antisocial behavior, then yes, you do. The key phrase is if I feel. That is deeply troubling, because the law is not meant to be based on an officer's
I
feelings.
think
It's based on facts and legal standards. The Police Reform Act 2002 Section 50 does allow officers to demand a name if someone is engaged in antisocial behavior, but only where there is real evidence of such behavior, not just an officer's personal impression. Saying if I feel exposes a vague, subjective approach that should not guide police action.
I think the polite, like, you know, so politely.
I think you'll be on a lawsuit against you if you arrested me for antisocial behaviour for a man with a camera. Then I think you'll be into a.
Suggesting that having a
I will take you to court. I will take you to court for
I'm
that.
suggesting, however, that you've been involved in an altercation, either one side or the other, and if I decide that that constitutes antisocial behaviour, then I can require you to provide me with your name and address details.
You can if you think I've committed a crime. But do you think I've committed a
If you've been
crime?
involved in ASB.
No. If you think I've committed a crime, you can
If
ask
you've been
me.
involved in ASB, that's how it works.
If you think I've committed a crime, if you think that's right, you're thinking I've been involved in the ASB, which is a crime, isn't it? So if you think I've committed a
ASB
crime,
isn't necessarily a crime, but one of the police powers that we have is to request the information from somebody who's been involved in ASB.
Right.
So you've been involved in an argument because you've refused to comply with somebody else's wishes. When, you know,
feelings police again. We're back to the feelings police.
This
What are you gonna
exchange
report?
shows how officers can
man-
misuse antisocial behavior
Oh, let
laws
me
to
hear
pressure
this.
people into compliance. Simply refusing to do what someone else wants is not antisocial conduct. It's exercising your legal rights. If the officer's view were accepted, any disagreement could be branded a crime, which is absurd. Antisocial behavior laws are meant to deal with harassment, intimidation, or genuinely disruptive conduct, not lawful activities that someone finds inconvenient. The officer's attempt to twist the law shows poor training and legal misunderstanding. Instead of protecting rights, is trying to weaponize vague definitions to justify an intervention that has no basis.
It's not feelings police. You know that there has been a confrontation between you and somebody else.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That to me is antisocial behaviour.
From his side, correct? Yeah.
Okay. So
Go get their name and address and all the
We'll be
information.
going over there in a minute.
It's not antisocial behaviour. It's
Would
rubbish.
you like just to provide your details? Obviously, you've said there's been a crime of public order. because they've shouted and sworn at you. You don't want to make a complaint. Would you like
this-
to provide your details to go on the crime report?
At this time, no. If I get home and I feel that I do need to, when I watch the video back and I do feel that it was bad enough,
Can I
then
give you the instant number then? Just to
yes, please, absolutely give me the
contact us
instant. Yeah, definitely.
If you'd like to provide your details.
Yep. So I'll write that down.
It is.
Right, but you won't be getting my name because if I did it anonymously. So if you're thinking that I'm going to do that, so you get my name.
No. It's just obviously if you want to provide your details.
What's the date
Is
today?
there any particular reason you won't provide your details?
Yes, one massive one.
What's that?
I don't want to.
What would it gain by withholding your details?
What would it gain? Now, okay,
Lose you to command.
right. So let me just reverse that back. So what it would gain for you if I provide my details, that goes straight.
Spoken to.
It goes. Doesn't matter though, does it? It goes straight on your intel. You put this description, my name, all my details on your intel. I don't want to be on your intel.
You're
So
doing nothing wrong. What's the harm?
no, you can't use that. No, I have.
That's a question. I'm not using it. I'm asking you a question.
Well, yeah. Well, you can't say if you're doing nothing wrong. Why don't you give your name? That's just rubbish, isn't it? I don't have to give my name, do I? And I don't want to. It's as simple as that.
Fine, you don't want to. But what would be the harm?
I've just told you, it'll go on your intel. So it'll go against the incident, it'll go on your intel. I don't want to be on your systems, thank you. Exactly what I say about the recording.
That moment also highlights why officers often ask for personal details even when no crime has occurred. They try to present it as harmless information gathering, but in many cases it's about adding people to police records without cause. If an officer has no lawful reason to demand details,
Answer that
there's no
question.
justification for giving
Well,
them. The
yeah,
auditor
because
calls this out,
well,
showing how casually officers will try to collect data on people who haven't done anything wrong. This isn't policing crime, it's policing people.
GDPR rules. Okay, so if you get into trouble, somebody beats you up for the things that you're doing, and you won't stop when they ask you to, you get beaten up, and then
Yep.
we come across you. How do we know who you are? It might help us.
Well, I think when you come, I'll give you my name then. What?
We don't know. You don't want to give it.
Well, I would if I got beaten up and I'm going to take them to court ready to or get you guys to do something about it, then I
Anything
wouldn't.
else we can help with?
Not for me, no. I don't. If you want to speak to these guys,
We'll
but
have a chat with them over there, and obviously
Absolutely.
side of things as well.
yeah, no problem. Okay.
very much indeed
All right.
for your time.
Thank you. Cheers. It's a walk of shame.
The interaction finally ends, but only because another officer steps in and stops it, not because the first officer recognized his errors. That fact says a lot about how poorly the first officer handled the situation. Throughout the encounter, he showed a shaky grasp of the law, relied on feelings over facts, and used every tactic he could to force compliance, wrongly citing GDPR, fishing for personal details, and stretching antisocial behavior rules. There was never a legitimate reason for police to be involved. The auditor hadn't broken any laws, yet the officer treated him like a problem to be managed. This episode is a clear example of why filming encounters with police matters. Without a camera, incidents like this can go unchecked.
Escalated.